Hey, welcome back to the CK Effect. I'm so glad you decided to join me again today. And I'm really excited to share this next little episode, which is all about when life doesn't go to plan and we're still going to be okay. But firstly, before we dive in today, I just want to say something, and I stress it in a lot of my episodes, that what I'm sharing is my own journey and perspective. It's not advice or one size fits all solution. If you need advice or professional advice, you would need to go see someone. My path is different and so is yours. And that's what makes life so interesting. So today, we're going to have a bit of a real heart to heart about something I think we all faced at some point when life just doesn't go to plan. You know, growing up, we get handed this mental checklist. Finish school, get the job, find your tribe, fall in love, get married, have kids, and settle into that perfect life. It's almost like a storybook we're supposed to follow, but without a real map or instructions on what to do when things go sideways. And yes, some people do sail smoothly through the story, high school sweethearts who end up marrying with kids and all that stuff. But for many of us, the story looks a lot messier, and that's not just okay, it's completely normal. We can't always have everything that we set out to have. If I think back when I was a kid, I was so eager to grow up. Like many of us, I thought the future was this neat, straightforward path. Graduate, get a job, meet the right person, settle down. You know the drill. But life doesn't work like a checklist. It's messy and unpredictable, with detours and surprises. Sometimes it feels like you're standing on the dock watching everyone else's boat sail off while you're stuck on shore. You might wonder if you're doing something wrong. And I had plenty of those moments. I always thought that I was being punished for something. But here's the thing. Life isn't one size fits all. We each have our own unique path to walk. And that's where the real lessons are. If we all did the same thing, life would be pretty dull. It's the twists and turns that make our stories worth telling. So here's an example about my career twist. I thought my path was clear. I started teaching at university. I did the whole childcare thing, worked in childcare centers for many years, imagining myself working with kids for the rest of my life, ticking all the expected boxes. But life had other plans for me. I found myself drawn into real estate, an industry that wasn't easy, especially for women back then. When I started, it was very male-dominated, and I had to prove myself over and over again. That struggle wasn't easy, but it pushed me harder to show that women can do just as much as men can. And often, we could probably do it a little bit better. Nearly 20 years later, I'm still in the game. I work in a corporate role where I get to support others and share the lessons I've learned. Lessons about resilience, persistence, and the realities behind the success stories. And you know, we don't always talk about success stories because we're always talking about the negatives, but I think we really need to embrace those success stories along the way. I do have to admit something. Real estate did swallow my whole life. I put off travel, family time, and slowing down because I thought there would always be another chance. Looking back, I wish I'd grabbed those moments when they came, because sometimes there isn't a later. It's really funny how hindsight works, isn't it? I wish I had said yes to more experiences and less to fear or doubt. We don't get infinite choices. The time we have is precious, and waiting for the perfect moment often means missing the moment altogether. If I look a little bit and deep diver into love and loss, if I think back where there was the love story I thought that would last forever, 10 years, a decade of my life spent with someone I believed was my forever partner. When it ended, it felt like my whole world shifted. After the breakup, I moved to a new area, a fresh start. Even though my family was only about an hour away, I knew I could go back anytime if I needed to. But this time, I wanted to stand on my own 2 feet. I wanted to learn how to rely on myself, to find my own way without leaning on familiar comforts. That move was so scary, really scary. New city, no close friends, no immediate family around me, just me and this new chapter. But it was exactly what I needed. And if you ask me, where do I start? I had no idea. I was looking at every different place there was. It wasn't even 5 minutes from my work either. I just kind of went, you know what? A fresh start is better than nothing. It forced me to reflect on what I'd lost, what I thought was real, like friendships, Friendships that I believed in that also faded, and what I really wanted from them. It made me question old beliefs and helped me discover what truly mattered: authenticity, boundaries, and self-love. It was in that space of uncertainty and self-discovery that I met my Mr. Right. But that's not the end of the story, just the start of a new chapter. Meeting my Mr. Right was a beautiful chapter, the kind of love story you hope for. We navigated life's up and downs together, learning and growing side by side. And yes, in many ways, it feels like a fairy tale. I'm married now, sharing my life with someone who truly understands me and supports me. But as I mentioned earlier, the vision I had of my perfect life, including having children, has changed. That dream of having kids was something I wanted once. It was part of the story I thought I'd live. But over time, through experience, grief, and reflection, I made decisions that led me down a different path. It's a deeply personal choice shaped by my own journey and what I know I can handle emotionally and mentally. One of the big conversations we had early in our relationship was about children, because my Mr. Right had kids already. And some people assume my choice was influenced by him, but that's not the case. Long before I met him, after the heartbreak of losing my mum and my brother, I realized my path was different. The grief changed me in ways I'm still unpacking, and deep down I knew parenthood wasn't what my heart could carry. It wasn't about anyone else's expectations or opinions. It was about honoring my own healing and knowing my limits. And there are days when I'm still going through those healing and learning what my limits are. And even though others might not always understand that decision, I do. And that's what matters the most. I've also had to work on how I show strength. I used to think it meant being stubborn and standing my ground no matter what. But I've learned that real strength lies in openness, in listening, having difficult conversations, and sometimes admitting you don't have it all figured out. We are all on this winding road towards peace. Sometimes I catch myself in defense mode, wondering if I'm protecting myself or just scared. And that's okay too. It's all part of the journey. So guys, my life, like many of yours, has felt messy and confusing at times. There have been chapters I've grieved, people I've lost, opportunities I missed, and moments I wish I could get back. But if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that I made the right decision in marrying my Mr. Right. No, we don't have everything figured out. We still face challenges, but we walk this journey together. We climb the obstacles side by side, and that makes all the difference. So maybe life hasn't gone to plan for you either. Maybe you're sitting in a season of uncertainty, wondering if you've missed your moment or questioning if you're behind. You're not. You're human, and you're living. You're growing, and you're allowed to be work in progress. Just because your life doesn't look like what you imagined doesn't mean it's gone wrong. Sometimes it's the mess, the detours, and the unexpected that we find what we really need. So I do want to thank you for being with me today. Thank you for holding space for the raw, the real, and the beautifully unfinished. This is the CK Effect, and I'll see you next time.